Hey everyone, hope you guys are safe and doing well. Uh, Thank you for joining another VWO webinar. My name is Sanchit and I'm a paid marketing manager at VWO, a full funnel experience optimization platform. So today we have with us Jeff Loquist, Director of Optimization and SiteTuners. Jeff comes with a decade of experience in creating, implementing and optimizing paid organic and overall marketing strategies actually. Not only this, Jeff also specialized in hand-to-hand combat instructions, truck driving, outdoor survival skills, and as he puts it, he makes some pretty mean hard process soap. So Jeff, if you could please turn off your camera so that the audience can see you.
Hey everybody, nice to meet everybody. So I spent some time in the Marine Corps in the United States, and so some of my experience builds from that. It's been a long time though, 25 years since I've done some of that stuff, but I do make very good soap, handmade soap, so that I still do that very well.
Great, Jeff. So it's great to have you here today, and I'm really excited for this session. Before that, I would like to thank all of you who have joined this session, and I'm sure it's going to be very interesting session today, and and even across all the worlds who have joined today. Also, I would like to inform you that if you have any question during this session, please post your session, your question on comment section, and we will take it up at the end of this session. So feel free to post your question. So over to you, Jeff. All stage is yours.
All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to share my screen here. All right, guys. So my name is Jeff Loquist. I'm the Director of Optimization at SiteTuners. I've been around for, the marketing field for several years. If y'all want to connect with me on LinkedIn, that's my LinkedIn. So along with SiteTuners, I've also ran paid search campaigns since 2008. I've been around doing this for quite a while. Started with a company called Barbecue Guys, and that's where I got my feet wet and ran multi-million dollars over the years. Saw that company grow from $8 million a year to $140 million a year company, and had our budgets go from $500,000 a year all the way up to managing $14-15 million in paid search for them. Left there a few years ago, started my own agency, Ruguru Studios. While doing that, started working with SiteTuners, and got to know that company really well while I was at Barbecue Guys actually, and they asked me to come on a couple of years ago as a director of optimization. Actually purchased Ruguru Studios, so Ruguru Studios still exists. It's a division of SiteTuners, and that's kind of what I do now. Is I manage the team here at Ruguru Studios, and then also work with our clients on conversion rate optimization. So I've been able to see kind of both sides of the field, and really kind of understand how on-site experience and paid advertising works really well together, along with other channels. So today we're going to be talking about PPC for conversions, right? Like a lot of people think about paid search, they think about driving traffic to their website. It's a great thing, right? We can spend money. We don't have to worry about like organic rankings and having to worry about like fighting other companies for that quote unquote free spot, right? But you can pay your cost per click, build your landing pages, build your ads, find your keywords, and then show up, and it's pretty immediate returns. But we are going to talk about some things with paid search today that are really important. That's the importance of consistency, right? Finding the right keywords, finding the right ads, finding the right landing pages, and then even a little bit about the art of disqualification, which is to me is actually just as important as qualifying those leads, right? We want to actually, the goal is to actually not have people click on your ads if they don't have any interest. So it's really important to make sure that message is right. So let's talk about the importance of consistency in paid search. So, you have a business, or you work for a business, right? Everybody's excited. You've got this thing. You've got a great product, right? You got a competitive price. You have to make sure that that's all in place. You build this beautiful website, and then you start driving traffic to it. Like in a perfect world, money starts flowing. Unfortunately, that doesn't always happen. And the reason that is because you're probably not connecting with your customer. You can pick keywords, you can write ads, you can buy landing pages, but if you don't connect with that customer, because that's what conversion rate's all about, right? So I'm going to talk about two things today. One thing I'm going to be talking about is driving paid ads. The other thing is conversion rate optimization. You know, making sure people understand that they feel like they're in the right place, that they feel like they can trust who you are, and that they know what to do next. And if you don't answer those three questions when people come to your website through a paid ad or any traffic source, you're going to have some problems. So in order to do this, we have to find the right keywords. We have to find the right ads, and we have to put those people to the right landing page. If you don't do those things, your paid search campaigns are going to suffer. And a lot of companies are wasting like 70% of their budgets because they're not doing these three things. So let's talk about those right keywords, right? So I love dogs. I'm a dog guy. We foster dogs. I have 3 of them, along with chickens and all kinds of stuff, but I love dogs. So I buy a lot of dog toys and stuff like that. And I also have very rambunctious dogs. Like, they get in a lot of trouble. They're good dogs. They just, they're high energy. So let's say we sell dog toys for rambunctious dogs. So you want to reach as many people as possible, right? That's initially the goal, is like we all say, hey, let's just get out there and get in front of many people as possible and start driving that traffic. And, people come and they'll buy. So we bid on things like dog toys. We might bid on pet toys, even toys for dogs. All of those keywords have a lot of search volume. They're going to drive a lot of traffic, but they may not necessarily get you a lot of conversions. You probably get some conversions, but if I'm searching for dog toys, I may be looking for information about dog toys. I may be looking, or especially at pet toys, I may be looking for, what's the best kind of pet toy? Can I make my own pet toy? Any number of things. So when we're trying to find those right keywords, we really want to think more niche, right? We don't want to use broad keywords, especially when we're starting out. And we learned this a lot with the barbecue industry, right? Like, I could bid on barbecue grills or gas grills, but those things would get me a lot of traffic, and they're good for branding, right? It's almost thinking like a branding play. And down the line, those people might come back and buy. But if I'm looking for that immediate revenue or that immediate action, I probably need to start more niche, especially if I'm dealing with some smaller budgets, which a lot of us are. So think about your customers' needs. I said I have rambunctious dogs. They get in a lot. They tear toys apart. So maybe a better keyword would be indestructible dog toys, or tough dog toys, or unbreakable toys for dogs. The more targeted we can get with those keywords, we drive very specific traffic from that market, and those people are going to be already have done their research, and they're going to be more apt to make that purchase or submit a lead form or anything. So we want to narrow that focus to what matters. And how do we do that? Dig into our analytics. Your analytics for paid search is a great tool if your website already exists, right? People are already coming to your website. They're already searching for things. They're either coming for organic. So you can look at your organic keyword reports. And, Google hides a lot of that information, but there's still valuable information there, even if we're only seeing 15, 20% of the data. Look at your analytics. Look at that organic. Look at your internal search. Make sure your analytics has your internal search functionality set up so you can see what people are searching for on your website. Use those keywords to build your paid search campaigns. Use keyword tools, SEMrush, SpyFu, see what your competition's doing. There's a ton of tools out there. Ubersuggest is a great tool. Utilize those tools to figure out what people are searching for, and then look for patterns, right? Look for how people are searching when they're on their website, on your website, or maybe there are people coming in. If people are coming in on certain buckets of keywords and they're doing really well, let's group those buckets together. We got to think long tail though. And when we say long tail, we're talking about those longer terms, 4, 5, maybe even longer, depending on the market of those keywords. Not dog toys, but indestructible dog toys or indestructible toys for dogs. Those are the kind of keywords when people are searching for those, they've done their research and they're going to be further down that funnel. So think long tail. And then use a lot of negatives. And this is where we come from that disqualification standpoint, right? Once we understand what people are searching for that is not working for us, we can use negative keywords. So think dog toys is a great example. It might be DIY, do it yourself, homemade, patterns, those kind of keywords. We can add those keywords as negatives to stop those search terms from showing up. And we're going to get a lot better results in the future. And this is going to take some time. You may not know that off the bat. There's things you'll probably know off the bat, like homemade is not a great keyword, right? We know that DIY is probably not a great keyword for us to if we're selling dog toys. So take those out right away. But you really want to make sure you're always like checking those keywords, always checking your search queries, and making sure that you're taking out that stuff that's not working for you. And remember that volume isn't everything. And this is a great example of this. The term dog toys, the average search volume on that, 65,000 a month. We can look if we're getting like an average click-through rate of 3-4%, 2,500 traffic to our website. And if your conversion rate is 0.5%, because it's a very broad term, that's still a lot of traffic. But if you look at indestructible dog toys, the volume's a lot less, right? 14.8%. And if your traffic is 750, we're still looking at 3%, 4% click-through rate, but your conversion rate's much higher, right? People know what they're looking for. They know what they want. So you're getting a conversion rate of 3.5%. You're still going to see a much bigger return. So you always have to don't think like top volume, like these huge keywords. Like I've had so many clients in the past that really always wanted to chase those terms. Here in Louisiana, where I'm from, we have crawfish, right? We eat a lot of crawfish. And one of my clients was a crawfish farm, and they sold crawfish online. They ship it all over the country. Well, the owner of that company had to rank for the term crawfish. He didn't care. Always had to go out there and do that. So we bid on that term, even though we told him not to, and he spent tons and tons and tons of money, but it didn't return a lot of orders. Whereas buy crawfish online, buy live crawfish online, those terms, very much less volume, but that's where all the orders came from. Because when those people, and so we always knew that big crawfish term was a branding play. It got the name out there, and that's okay if you have the budget to do those things. But if you're dealing with smaller budgets, think about these longer tail, lower volume, but higher converting keywords. Because I'd much rather spend, even if this keyword cost me $2 compared to this keyword cost me $1, my return on investment is going to be huge compared to that, what they call the short tail term, the head term. And then always think of quality over quantity. That's if you keep that in mind when you're building keywords, when you're writing ads, when you're doing anything landing pages, this always think quality over quantity works throughout this process. The less you can say on a landing page but get your point across, the less you can say in an ad and get your point across, and then the less volume on the keyword, but the better quality of that keyword, you're going to do better. All right, so now we're going to talk about ads themselves, right? So we've picked those long tail keywords. We've gotten to a place where we feel really good about the selection. We know that these are the keywords that, looking at our organic search, looking at our website history, doing competitive research, these are the terms that we feel are going to do really well for us. Keywords is only a third of the battle. It's not even half the battle, it's just a third. It's a very important part, but those ads are huge, right? And your ad needs to do a number of things. It needs to mirror the user's objective. It needs to appeal to their desires and needs, right? Because we want them to click through. The whole point of that ad is to get people to click through. So we need to acknowledge their pain points, utilize those emotional triggers, focus on those solutions, not just the benefits. People love solutions, and they're looking for a solution. And a benefit is something that we have. A solution is something they have. So we always want to think about their needs when we're writing ads, building landing pages. And then we want to entice them with a solution. We want to make sure that they know when they click through that ad, this is what they're going to get. So ad copy for conversion, what does that look like? So we need to include keywords in the ad copy and the headline. Dynamic keyword insertion. I know this is something it's an old tool. Everybody's familiar with it. Most people are familiar with it. It is still a big winner to this day. If you can put a keyword dynamically into your ad copy, it resonates with people. Utilize all your available space. Maximize your ad extensions. You have in Google specifically, we have 3 lines of ad text. Headlines. We have 2 lines of description text, and we have a number of extensions we can use, right? Make sure we're using all that. Make sure your copy matches user intent and the landing page experience. So what is that person searching for? Make sure that whatever that keyword is, that your ad copy is related to that keyword, and that is related to the landing page they're going to come to. And we'll show you some examples of this here in a little while. Include information about the offer, and then use natural language that sells, like I said, not just the benefits. So let's talk about including keywords in the ad copy. So I did a search for indestructible dog toys, right? The 2 keywords that stand out to me, the ads that stand out to me right away, this tells me they have exactly what I need, right? And they have exactly what I need here and here. So Chewy and Westpaw have done a great job already in their ads of just making sure that that ad resonates with me right away. So dynamic keyword insertion that I was talking about, it automatically inserts the search query into the ad text, and so it must be less than the max characters of that line of ad. And there's 3 ways to do it. You can see here. You can do it where if you do it this way with the keyword like this, indestructible dog toy, all lowercase will show up. If you capitalize the K, the first letter will show up. But if you capitalize the K and the W, it'll capitalize the first letter of each word. And that's actually a little thing that helps a lot in ads. I see a lot of ads where people write just all lower text. If you capitalize the first letter of each word, it actually helps your ad stand out a little bit more. So just a little pro tip, I guess, on this. If you're using keyword insertion, use that KW, capital K, capital W version. If you're just writing an ad, capitalize the first letter of each noun in that. So utilize all available ad text. So BarkBox done a great job here, right? They're utilizing the site links, everything like that. There's even more that can probably be used here, but they've obviously got that #1 spot, and they're able to utilize that with those ad extensions. What kind of ad extensions are we talking about here? So there's a number, right? The site links that we're seeing here. So site links are clickable. You have a headline and you have a description text to kind of tell more about it, which is great. They have call out extensions, which you see here with the BarkBox. This free toy bin, $30 value. These are not clickable, but they add more information, and you can utilize more business incentives and things like that. The first toy ship right now, things like that. $40 value per box. These are the kind of things that it just adds meat to your ad. And the whole point of this is to build a very robust ad that stands out in front of other people. Location extensions. So Target is near me. I'm in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. This location extension right here lets me know that I can go to Target and get some indestructible dog toys right away. I don't have to wait to have stuff shipped to me. I can go right there. So that's always a positive. And then call extensions, right? So a call extension in conversion rate optimization, we'll talk about this in the landing pages. The #1 trust symbol on the internet is a phone number. If you have a phone number, put that phone number right where people can see it. Because if they know they can call you, they may not even call you, but the fact that they know they can is a huge trust symbol, a huge benefit for you. So next thing is structured snippets. So in this, they're actually listing out the types of dogs, and all these dogs here, bulldogs, terriers, Dobermans, border collies, husky, labs, these dogs are all known to be what they call the power chewers, right? The ones that just tear toys apart. So listen that out. That makes that ad relevant to me because I know, oh man, if a American Bulldog or a Terrier or a Doberman can handle this toy, my dog can handle this toy. Structure snippets are a great way to add that to there. And then promotions. If you're an e-commerce business, especially, promotion snippets are fantastic because it adds not only that promotion there, but I love this valid May 1st and May 14th. That is telling me that it's a limited time. It's adding a sense of urgency. Great thing there. And something new, if you're a lead business, these lead forms, they've been around for a few months now, but you know, people can actually fill out a lead form right from the ad and send you their information without even having to come to your website. So if you're a lead submission company, test those out. All right, so make sure the ad copy matches user intent. So like I said, indestructible dog toys. I love Bully Make. 2020's top 3 durable toys your power chewer needs. So this is where I'm talking about that it's matching my intent and matching my needs, right? Not just I love that, indestructible dog toys here, guaranteed to last a lifetime. Wonderful. Right here, bonus gift, dog toy bin, BarkBox, Super Chewer official site. That doesn't really do anything for me. But I know I have a power chewer, they have specific needs, and this guaranteed to last a lifetime, fantastic way to say that. And as you can see, no one's doing all this stuff right. Your goal as a PPC marketer is to get all of this right. Because if you can get all of this right and get it all into an ad, you're going to stand out above everybody else. Include information about the offer. So we said here, get a box of dog treats built for your power dog delivered monthly. I love that. It's telling me exactly, if I go to Bully Make, it's going to tell me exactly, I'm getting to know exactly what's going to happen. I get delivered monthly. I get dog toys and treats. I love even this, no rawhide, because rawhide is bad for your dogs, right? Whereas free toy bin with sign up, get tough toys chewing each month. That's there too, but this is very to the point and perfect to me. And then free shipping, low prices. That's another thing, right? As consumers, we love free shipping, and we want to, anytime we can put that out there is perfect. And this 24/7 expert help is also a good one. And finally, use natural language that sells, not just benefits. Westpaw interactive dog toys are durable and safe. Dogs dig them, and so will you. That's great. Like that they're talking like their consumer talks. They're being a little more personable than some of these other ones. So they do a really good job there of that. Now, so we've worked on those ads. We're starting to get those ads looking really good. Now we have to drive them to a landing page, right? So this is where I get frustrated. This is my frustrated guy. This is where PPC marketers lose so often. We pick great keywords, we write great ads, especially on a big e-commerce site, like the barbecue grill site I was on. We had so many products, so many ads, so many categories, all this stuff. We spent a lot of time sending keywords to just a single page, like gas, any kind of gas grill term would go to the gas grill page, or this, any kind of dog toy term would go to a dog toy page, right? We need to match that user intent. If I'm looking for indestructible dog toys, my ad should be talking about it, and that landing page should be talking about it. You got to keep the promises of your ad message, include a single clear call to action. This is hugely, hugely important. Don't make me think. Give me one single clear call to action to do. Do that. I pointed that out. Very, very important. And then always keep the key messages above the fold and build trust. Again, if you can do those things, remember those 3 things I said? Am I in the right place? How do I feel about this? And what do I do next? All those things I just said, that is exactly what I'm talking about. If you can do those things, you're solid. So let's look at a tale of 2 pages here, right? First one's Westpaw. So remember Westpaw's ad? Westpaw interactive dog toys, durable and safe. Dogs dig them, so will you, guaranteed. Love that. Then we see their landing page. I am exceptionally, exceptionally confused here. Keep the promise of the ad message. Indestructible dog toys. Interactive dog toys, durable and safe. Dogs dig them, so do you. I love the image. It's fun. It's cute. This is above the fold that we're looking at right here. All right. Nothing here tells me anything that I was looking for in that ad, or that ad told me I was going to do. There's not a single call to action. There's a couple links here, and this right here, play. I mean, this doesn't even look like a call to action if it is. This page is really, really missing out. And then keeping your messages above the fold. Again, nothing. It's basically a category page we can see on the right, which is fine for some things, but we really need to have that, all that above the fold. It's how we get people's interest, we keep it, and we get them moving. And then build trust. There is no trust on this page. I don't know if this is some guy sitting in his basement. I don't know if it's a local mom and pop shop, which I love, but I don't know that. There's nothing. That's even a trust symbol, right? Small mom and pop shop. That could be a trust symbol. There's nothing here that tells me any of those things. This thing fails on every level. If you work for West Paul, I apologize. Sort of. Do better on your landing pages. Now let's look at BarkBox. Remember BarkBox, Super Chewer official site, bonus gift, dog toy bin. Did we match user intent? Durable dog stuff every month. Boom. Claim offer, give a gift. This right away, right off the top of the page, they matched user intent perfectly. They keep the promise of the ad message. Remember the Super Chewer? Right there. Super Chewer, durable dog toys every month. What they told me was going to happen is happening, right? Even this, the free dog toy bin, right there. Include a clear call to action? Absolutely did that. Claim my offer, give us a gift. Right there, above the fold, clear as day, I know exactly what to do. And then they kept the important message above the fold, which is here. So all this is right above the fold. And then but the beauty thing is I know there's more, right? Whereas like West Paul, except for that little arrow that we saw on the left hand, you may not have even noticed it. You didn't even know there was more to that page. Here, I can see that there's more to scroll to, which is great. And that's what we want to do. And then did we build trust? It's further down the page than I would like it, but they have the happiness guarantee. The dogs love their Super Chewer boxes. I would love to see this up here, but it's still there. Having that trust up towards the top of the page, up near my offer, is more important to me, but it is there. So I'm going to give them, half a point for that. So all in all, BarkBox has done a very, very good job. West Paul did a really good job with their ads. BarkBox did an okay job, but BarkBox killed it on that landing page. So good job for them. Now let's talk about the art of disqualification. We've talked about keywords, getting the right keywords. We've talked about building the right ads, and we talked about the right landing page, right? So all those things are in place. What about this art of disqualification I talked about? So to me, disqualifying people is as important, if not more important, than actually qualifying them. And I know some people are going, what? That doesn't make sense. It does when you think about it, because if you don't disqualify people from the start, you're going to waste money. So at the keyword level, search queries, are we only using heavily targeted terms that our ideal customer would utilize? Remember what I said about the long tail versus short tail? If we're only using those really long tail terms that we know our customers are searching for when they're looking for our products or services, that's what we want. Placements, where are ads showing up? If we're utilizing display advertising or something like that, what kind of websites are we showing up on? What kind of people are they showing up on? And then our demographics, do they make sense for our ideal customer? If I'm searching for, if I'm bidding on dog toy stuff, I should be looking for people that fall into the bucket of animal lovers, things like that. We can blanket, use the shotgun method and just shoot our ads out there, or we can get really, really targeted with search queries, placements, and demographics and audiences, and we can really, really hone in on who our customer is, and that's where we're going to get the best benefit out of this. At the ad level, we want to look at the messaging, the imagery, and the calls to action, whether we're writing, search ads, whether we're utilizing display ads, remarketing. Make sure that our messaging, our imagery, and our calls to action in those ads are related to that search and what they're going to find on the page. Be upfront with price and offering. A lot of people try to hide this. I've never understood it. Even if you have a very, very expensive product, even if you have like the barbecue grill example, if we sold barbecue grills that were $10,000 and I would put that right in the ad, people would be like, don't do that. People won't click through. I'm like, great, right? Don't click through. I don't want you to click through if you can't afford my product. I'm not being mean to somebody. I'm just not I don't want to give them the idea and be disappointed when they come to my website, because maybe I have something they will like at a lower price point. So let's not disappoint people. Let's not be disappointed. Be upfront with price and offering. If you're high end, make sure people know it. I was just talking about that. Make sure if you're selling Lexus cars, make sure that they know that a Lexus is an expensive high end vehicle. Or if you have an Airbnb service, but you only cater to people that can afford $500-600 a night, make sure they know that. Be upfront, and that's what it is. Be honest with your messaging. Don't try to get people into your website and sell them after the fact. Let them know exactly what they're going to get. Let them and be honest about it. And then at the landing page, craft your content towards your target. Don't be all over the place. Make sure that if you are targeting dog owners, craft your content towards dog owners. If you are traveling towards big dog owners or people that have dogs that are big chewers, craft your target towards that. Tell people exactly how your product or service, what it's for and who it's for and what it does, and make the form, if you're using a form, make it short and sweet so people fill it in, but always ask those important questions. As a CRO guy, we always want to make those shorts as form. Like in a perfect world, it would be email address and enter, right? Submit your email. Like that would be the perfect way, because that's the least amount of things people have to do. However, that's not a perfect world. And sometimes you have to ask a lot of questions. Just make sure it's as short as possible and it's to the point, but also it's enough to disqualify people. So if I'm if I'm only asking for an email address and I'm selling land, but I need to know that people can afford that land, then I need to ask some qualifying questions. What's your income level? Where do you live? Things like that. So don't be afraid to ask the important questions you need to. Just make sure it's only the questions you need at that landing page level. And then if it's a product based, make sure your products are clearly visible, at least your top sellers, and that way people can see exactly what you have and they can make that decision and leave right away if they need to. Don't be afraid of the bounce if they're not going to buy anyway. So if that's pretty much what I had today. I hope this has been helpful. I'm open to any questions right now if we want. Here's a link to schedule a call for a free website evaluation from SiteTuners. But yeah, thanks for having me.
This presentation was quite interesting and very insightful. I really enjoyed it a lot, and I hope our attendees enjoyed it too. There's a lot of actionable items that we can take for our next 2 or 3 weeks task, because day-to-day task, because in a paid marketing optimization, something that we have to do on an ongoing basis. Especially I really like the way that like rather than targeting a broad keyword, you have to go with a long tail keyword first, especially when you have a limited budget.
Yep.
Optimize the conversion rate, because you have a higher conversion rate for high tail long tail keyword. So
and
that was
really
insightful. Yep.
It's funny because a lot of times those like short tail keywords actually have a lower cost per click, right? So you see that maybe like I said, like dog toys might have $1 cost per click, and you're like, oh, it's a lot cheaper, I should bid on that. because indestructible dog toys is $250. But in the long run, you're wasting money because the return's not going to be there. So don't get seduced by the low cost per click. Think more about user intent.
Yep. Thanks a lot, Jeff. It was really helpful for us. We really enjoyed it, and I hope our audience also enjoyed it. So we have a couple of questions. Let me read it one by one. So the first question is, give me a sec. Just give me a sec.
No worries.
The first question is, will you share the slides? Definitely, we will share it. So the first question is from Alex. Alex, thanks for asking the question. So Jeff, question for you is, what about remarketing in terms of display ads?
Yeah, so I talked a little bit about that. The biggest thing with remarketing is making sure those audience segments are set up correctly, right? So when I'm talking about audience, I'm talking about your remarketing audiences, not specifically like, women 35 to 54. I'm talking about, what are those people doing on your website? So a lot of people say, if you visited my website, I'm going to remarket to you with this blanket ad. That's really, really bad idea. If you have low numbers, it might be the only thing you can do, but I would much rather remarket to people that have visited my indestructible dog toy page. And if I have a video, utilize Google Analytics to set up some what we call micro conversions, right? They watched so much of a video, they scrolled so much to the page, they spent so much time on site, right? We can start building those remarketing lists that kind of meet those criteria. And then we can start having our very, very interested customers. And if we're utilizing like Facebook, we can utilize some Facebook metrics, right? Liked our page, plus visited our website page of the indestructible dog toys, plus maybe watched a video. We can really start building out these remarketing lists that are really, really targeted and really, really niche. And if we have the traffic to do that, then we make sure that our ad matches that user intent. Like, we never want to say, and we can't, right? We never want to say, hey, Jim, saw you on our website, check this out. But if we know from what they've interacted with our website that they have a poodle, right? It's okay to show an image of a poodle. Or because maybe they visited a bunch of pages about poodle toys for poodles, or something like that. Like, if we have those pages, just be as specific as possible with the remarketing list to get the best effect out of it. Because Google's kind of gone stupid with their remarketing, and I've seen remarketing go from if we're back in the old days, we could just have people visit our website, remarket to them, and we knew it was going to do well. Now, if you just throw a blanket remarketing list out there, it's going to struggle. So you have to get really, really targeted with your audience segmentation.
Great. Thanks for the answer, Jeff. So second question we have from Megan Law. Thanks for asking the question, Meg. So the question is DKI relevant for what you sell? Because this does not resonate with your LP messaging.
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
So the question is DKI ads relevant for your for what you sell? Because sometimes it does not resonate with your LP messaging, landing page messaging.
Yeah. So that's the thing is, it should be a very, very small part, and that's where we write really targeted ads, despite the DKI, right? The dynamic keyword insertion is what we're talking about. So it can be a huge benefit. I've seen it work really well. It's not for everything. And so there's a couple other things that I guess I didn't mention, which is probably, hopefully y'all stuck around for this. DKI works really well. It's not 100%. Another thing is asking questions. Like, if we know what people are coming in, that top headline, actually ask a question. What are you looking for? Are you looking for indestructible dog toys, or something like that? So it's not 100%. You have to test it, and that's the biggest thing with all this, right? ABC or ABT, whatever, always be testing. Like, make sure that you're always testing things, and you may find dynamic keyword insertion doesn't work for you. It's worth a test. It works a lot of the times, but if you're finding it doesn't work, go away from it and try another solution.
Sure, thank you. So next question is from Maggie Walsh. So she is asking, what if your SQR search query report is relevant, your ad copy and landing page content is also relevant, but still you are struggling with the conversions?
So relevant is one thing. Making sure you answer those three questions I talked about is the next thing, right? So make sure that people, when they come to that landing page, if your keywords are on point, your ads are on point, and your landing page copy is relevant, great. However, we still have to do those three things. We have to say, am I in the right place? So make sure they know that. If you've answered that question, great. Can they trust you? Use trust symbols, use secure checkout things, use customer reviews high up on the page, things that make people feel good about coming to your landing page, coming to your website. They feel like they can do business with you, because that's one of the key things I always find missing on most websites is trust. People have a great product, they have great whatever, there's no trust. And the next thing is make sure that call to action is clear. If somebody comes to your website and you're offering, a free website audit, but you're also offering a free, free demo, then you're also offering this and you're also offering that, and then you have a pop-up that comes up that says sign up for our newsletter. All those things are distractions. And you have to remember, we're animals, right? It wasn't 500 years ago we were all freaking running away from lions, and so all that movement, all those things happening on our website is distracting us from that one thing, one clear call to action.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. Next question is from Andrew. Andrew, thanks for asking questions. So his question is, what do you think about enhanced CPC versus smart bidding? Which one is better?
So manual versus smart?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm changing on this. You caught me in a transition period. I used to hate any automation. I didn't trust Google for anything. I'm starting to go the other way. I think with Google specifically, I know other services do it. Their technology's coming from a bidding standpoint, very specific bidding standpoint. Google's come a long way. I use a lot of actual target CPA bidding. We like to actually start campaigns at maximize conversions, right? I mean, at maximize clicks. So we set a budget, we set a maximize clicks, we set that at, we always put a bid cap. They'll go crazy if you don't put a bid cap. And we let that start getting clicks. And then we start seeing conversions come in, and then we start slowly transitioning into a target CPA once we figure out what that's going to be. I actually really enjoy target CPA. Smart campaigns where they do everything, nope, stay away from it. Never trust a machine to think for you, because I know there's a lot of technology, there's a lot of things out there. They're never going to know your business as well as you do, and they can't make a business decision. They can make a data decision, but they never know if something's profitable for you. So I love smart bidding, but always make sure that you're incorporating that human element into it.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. I hope, Andrew, you have got your answer. And so last question for you, Jeff. I mean, there are more questions, but I think we are running. We have 15 minutes only. So one last question, I think. So what should we focus on if you are bidding only on relevant keywords? In that case, what should we focus on? Impression share versus cost per click. If nothing is performing in the account even after bidding on relevant keywords, and even have right ad copies and LPs.
So again, if you're not converting, make sure that everything is in line and focus on that landing page. Focus on the trust, focus on all those things that we talked about. That's the big things on those.
Yeah.
And if you're not converting, make sure your price is right. Is somebody not undercutting you? Is the competition doing things that is making you look less relevant? There's always those outside factors as well. If you're doing everything right, then there might be an outside factor. It could be market, right? COVID has had a huge effect, good or bad, on a lot of industries. And I've seen clients go skyrocket because people quit buying things in the store, and all of a sudden they're selling them online. But then I've seen other businesses just fall off the map because people don't need certain things right now. So there could always be outside factors, but if you're doing everything right and you know you're doing everything right, look at your competition, make sure your pricing's in check, and then look at those industry outside. If like with we were selling grills, if the stock market crashed, we were going to have a bad few days. It just because the level of product we had, the price point of the product we had, those people tended to have stock. They tended to be higher income people, and every time the stock market would go down, we'd struggle. So make sure you're always looking at outside factors as well, and then
Okay,
adjust. Don't bid on stuff if you see something that's causing you guys to have issues, pull back a little bit.
sure. Thanks, Jeff. I think he has one more question, which is around if everything is relevant, in that case, what should we focus on? Impression share versus cost per click?
Yeah, so I'm assuming you're asking if things are converting, right? Like, so are you trying to get, or is this if things aren't converting? So it depends on your budget, right? Do you have the budget to test impression share? Are you struggling? Are you hitting budget and not converting? Cost per click. I'd rather bid to a 2 or 3 position. I used to say even 4 or 5, but that doesn't exist anymore. It's all the bottom of the page. But I would rather be at the 2 or 3 and pay a lower cost per click and get more clicks than really struggle through with that budget. If I have the budget to spend and I know and I have budget to test, impression share. And I would look at 2 things. I would look at impression, not only just your impression share, I would also look at your top of the page, right? So you have your regular impression share, and then you have that top of page, and even that number 1. How often are you getting on that? You can get really, really granular into that stuff, but you know, like I said, it depends on your budget and how much money you have to spend.
Thanks, Jeff. Okay, Kevin, you've got your answer. And one last question, Jeff. So, how important it is to have social proof on the landing page, and the links to different landing pages like privacy policy, contact us, and so on.
Yeah, so depends. Social proof, always. You know, customer reviews, things like that. Always, always, always. Those are huge trust factors. So very important to have those there. Your privacy policy should always be in your footer, especially if you have any kind of lead gen where they're giving you their personal information. You definitely need your privacy policy in the footer. I don't think it needs to be anyplace else. Contact us is always important. Like I said, that phone number in the top upper right corner of your landing page, that's a huge trust symbol. And the ability to contact you is also huge. But at the same point, there's things on that page that, like if we're doing a true landing page, that I would get rid of, right? Menu items that take you back to different pages, deeper links into the website. If you're an informational website, those are great. But if you're trying to get people to do one particular action on a landing page, the phone number is great. Need the privacy policy, but those deeper links into the website, if I'm trying to get them to perform one action, we can probably cut a lot of those out.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. My bad. Actually, I missed one line in this question. So the last line was like having privacy policy contact as links on the landing page. I mean, does this impact the quality score of your keywords?
Quality score, like I said, contact us, and if it's in your footer, it's at the bottom of the page. It's always going to be there. I don't know for a fact whether that impacts quality score or not. I mean, you might, Sunshine, but I don't. I've never read anything that said that impacted quality score one way or another. But it doesn't hurt to have those things there for sure. And like I said, it could also be a legal issue depending on what you're doing. So.
Great, Jeff. Hope Akbar, you have got your Akbar Akil, you have got your answer. Um, that's it. I think we have done like question answer. It was really insightful session, Jeff, and I really want to thank all the audience who have joined our webinar. We will be sharing the presentation and the video recording within 24 to 48 hours. Uh, that's it. I think so. Yeah, Jeff,
Right.
anything you want to share, or I mean, this was very insightful session.
Oh
Like,
no, just want to say thanks to everybody who attended. It's been fun. Thanks to you guys for having me on. And yeah, be sure to reach out to me. You can find me on LinkedIn at SiteTuners, Jeff at SiteTuners.com. If y'all have any questions, just reach out. But LinkedIn's probably a great place. I'm also on Twitter.